Hey again, everybody. So we're going to go ahead and move into composer study. So remember, the composer that we're talking about right now is Joseph Haydn. And so maybe last week, okay, I did. Last week, I think I mispronounced his name as Haydn, and it's Haydn. So Joseph Haydn is his name. So my apologies. The names are really tricky in here. So hang with me and we're going to keep moving forward, okay? All right, here we go. Haydn was engaged by Porpora, an Italian composer, as a household servant for a time. He hoped to gradually gain the maestro's favor and obtain instruction from him. We know he did this, for eventually he was promoted to the post of accompanist during an artistic tour which the composer made in Germany. Here is the scene. Soon after Haydn's arrival at Porpora's house in Vienna, where the crusty old musician, much to his alarm, has the first inkling of his servant's talent. The story is so pleasantly told in George Sand's novel Consuelo that despite its length, I insert it here. One morning, Joseph, while engaged in sweeping Porpora's antechamber, forgot that the partition was thin and his master's sleep light. He began mechanically to hum a musical phrase which came into his mind, accompanying the rhythm with the movements of his brush on the floor. Porpora, angry at being awakened before his time, turned over on his bed, tried to go back to sleep again, but, pursued by that young and fresh voice singing with correctness and ease a very graceful and well-constructed phrase, found it no use. He jumped up, threw on his dressing gown, and went to look through the keyhole, half charmed with what he heard, half enraged against the artist who was so unceremoniously had been composing in his house before he himself had gotten up. But what a surprise! It is Beppo who is singing and dreaming and goes on with his tune while pursuing with a preoccupied air his household work. "What is that you're singing?" says the maestro, with a voice of thunder, opening the door suddenly. Joseph, dumbfounded, like a man awakened with a start, was very nearly throwing away his brush and dustpan and taking to flight at once. But though for some time he had lost the hope of becoming Porpora's pupil, he was still happy in hearing Consuelo's working with the maestro and in receiving lessons from his generous friend in secret when the composer was absent. Not for all the world did he wish to be driven away, so he did his best to remove his master's suspicions. "I was singing?" he said, quite out of countenance. "Alas, master, I don't know what it was." "Do people sing they don't know what? It's false. I assure you, master, I don't know what it was I was singing. You frightened me so much that I've quite forgotten it. I know I've done very wrong to sing near your chamber. I was dreaming, I thought. I was far away, all alone. I said to myself, now you can sing. There's no one here to tell you. Be quiet, blockhead, you're singing out of tune. Be quiet, you brute, you will never be able to learn music. Who told you you sang out of tune? Everybody. And I tell you, shouted the maestro in a severe tone, you don't sing out of tune. And who tried to teach you music? But, well, Master Reader, whose hair my friend Keller dresses, and who drove me from his class, saying I should never be anything but dumb. Joseph already knew enough of the maestro's antipathies to know that he thought very little of Reader, and indeed he had all along counted on this to help him gain Porpora's good graces, if Reader tried to injure him in the maestro's opinion. But Reader, in the rare visits that he had paid, did not deign to recognize his old pupil in the antechamber. Reader's dumb himself, murmured Porpora between his teeth, but that's nothing to do with it. I want you to tell me where you got that phrase. And he sang the notes Joseph had so forgetfully made him listen to 10 times over. Oh, that, said Haydn, who began to augur better of his master's disposition, but did not quite trust him yet. It's something I heard the Signora sing. Consuelo? My daughter? I don't know it. So you listen at doors, do you? Oh, no, sir. But the music, it comes up from the room to room down to the kitchen, and one can't help hearing it. I don't like being served by people who have such good memories and who go about singing unpublished ideas in that way. You'll put your things together today and go tonight to find some other place." However, in the end, Consuelo makes it up between them, and Porpora is induced to give poor Joseph occasional lessons.